That's my dude. Oh my God. This is a very difficult day for me and as an athletic director. On the torch, an amazing teacher, educator, friend, and what you guys know him as a coach. Jeff Tedford embodies everything we want in a Bulldog. He's a tough competitor, he's tenacious, he's smart, he's strategic, he's a hell of a coach. But the things that I don't know if many of you appreciate are his amazing depth of character, his loyalty, his integrity, his compassion, and his commitment to the development of young people. That is the legacy that Jeff Tedford would leave here as a coach, and that is the legacy that we will continue, and I am honored to be able to continue that legacy with Jeff as a partner in our athletic department. For many of you, you remember the outcomes of games. I don't necessarily think his value is just in the outcomes of games. His value comes way beyond that. His value comes in the fact that when you are in a room or when Jeff Tedford's on your team, you have already won. You have won what you're doing. So his association with this institution and with this athletic program, I'm proud to say, will continue. And I am looking forward to that continued effort with Jeff Tedford, arm in arm, as we continue to build Bulldog football and support the pride and tradition of Bulldog football. So that for that, I know he's left, but I thank Jeff, and we've had many, many discussions, many, many conversations, and it's good to see my coach laugh again and have some good times. So I'm looking forward to a lot more of that as we continue to support these amazing students that we have here. So on to what you folks are probably interested in terms of the process. We will begin a formal search for our new leadership of football. I think it's been said, and I would like to support that in the fact that this position has amazing interest nationally from all walks and kinds. However, we do have a process here. We are a part of the state of California, and we will abide by that process. As an athletic director, of course, it is my practice to have, or to be able to evaluate and continue to evaluate coaches and staff at all times. So therefore, although this is a difficult opportunity, I am ready for this opportunity. And I think I can say candidly, and although I am an educator and a person who believes in the academic experience, I think you all know that I am a football man. All right, I know football. So with that being said, I think I am well equipped and ready to be able to find the next person to try to lead this program in the way that Jeff Tedford did. We will try to move expeditiously in that opportunity. Because we feel as though the stability of this program, although it's not in doubt, we feel as though these young people need to understand who their leader is going to be as they continue down the path of development. I have assistant coaches, of course, who have been charged to continue in their efforts to support the young people that we have here in this program first. That is that is what we're most proud of. So even in Jeff's last words to his coaches, it was not to go out and keep recruiting. It was take the time to make sure that our young people are continuing down their paths academically, that we are moving forward in supporting them in their pursuits comprehensively as they develop as people and as the fruits of Fresno State. As I said, this will be a very attractive position for a variety of reasons. We have great coaches, a great community, a great fan base, and more importantly, the Valley is a great place to be, and a great place to live. So I'm looking forward to this opportunity as we move to a new direction for Bulldog football. So I'll open it up for questions.
Questions for Coach? I'm used to saying that.
I was a coach.
Terry, since Jeff Tedford brought it up, I feel like we have to ask you about the facilities. He said that he thinks Fresno State is falling behind in that race. What is your plan for a new coach and for recruits to upgrade the current facilities?
I think Jeff is astute in his observation as it relates to capital improvements. We have done a great job in terms of moving that forward, not only as we move forward in the future, but we've also done that currently. In our last year, we moved our facilities forward and will continue to do so. We understand that investment, and he is correct. We are always going to invest and try to find out what's most important for all of our students and moving them forward in their development. And capital improvements is one of those areas. We've already started that and have been doing that for quite some time. I'm not able at this point in time to give you specifics, but he is correct in the fact that we will continue to move forward in that effort.
How do you plan to utilize him in the search for a new coach?
You know, I think it would be short-sighted to not have a person of his intellect and his depth as an advisor in terms of what you look for in a coach. I can say this with all due candor, football guys like football guys. We like to hang around each other, we like to talk ball, and we like to talk about the attributes of what a coach does. But I think what's going to be most important as we look at the X's and O's of football and strategically what a person does, whether it's an RPO offense or whether they're a defensive genius and they're playing quarter halves or whatever the case may be, Jeff Tedford's going to be able to say, Terry, this person's character is what we need here. This person fits what this valley deserves. This person feels like a bulldog. I've only been a bulldog for a short period of time, and I've been able to have his mentorship help me become a better bulldog every day. Why would I not lean on a bulldog who's been here all his life and have him help me direct and find the next bulldog to lead our football program?
Next question.
Terry, there's been, mention today about the 14-day hiring period for CSU. I look on the calendar and the early signing day for football is December 18th. That's 12 days away. So
A little bit of a conundrum.
A little bit of a conundrum.
Yeah.
So, that leads me to believe that signing day is going to happen on December 18th, and Fresno State will not have a football coach in place on that date if those two things line up. So does that concern you? And what can you do, or if anything, to assuage that situation at all?
Well, we're not in the practice of trying to mitigate or get around the legislative efforts of our state. So if our state says 14 days, that's what it is. But I will also say this. I think when it comes to recruitment, and I think, many of us think about recruitment in terms of just the football program or whatever the case may be. When these coaches go out and talk about this institution, this valley, this community, they talk about just that. So we have a lot of talented people, young people who want to come here because they love this institution. And they will be committed to this institution because they have faith that our community, and I say it's a community because this is a collection of people who have similar values. And our value is going to be investing in kids. So if our recruits in the future understand that and know that we are committed to their success, we'll get the right kids in here. We'll get the right student athletes in here, and we'll keep building our success of our program. So when it comes to the 18th, I would tend to believe that we may have no one sign on that day. I wouldn't be surprised if we have 3 or 4 sign on that day, because they are committed to this institution and what this institution means to them and their development as a person.
Terry, Tedford was a former Bulldog. How important is it to hire somebody with, Valley connections or being a former Bulldog himself?
I think the value that comes with being a former Bulldog or having a connection here is that you kind of know the landscape a little bit, faster. I can look at myself and say I was not a former Bulldog when I came here, but I also can tell you that a lot of the intrinsics or the intangibles that I see in myself are all Bulldog related. I feel every part of a Bulldog when I think about who I am and what I represent. The best compliment I ever received as an athletic director here in my first year is they said, "Hey Terry, we know you're not from here, but man, you feel like us." That was a big, big deal. So for me, I think that is something that you can take in consideration, but it will not be the decisive point as it relates to this very, very important position for our athletic department. Our athletic department needs to find someone that has those same characteristics that I mentioned for Coach Tedford. And probably can add a new twist of their own, because they're not gonna be Coach Tedford. And we're gonna allow whoever that person is to do that. Because I promise you, the greatness of Bulldog football will continue as we move forward.
Additional questions?
You mentioned character being a high priority for the coaching search. Are there any other attributes or background of the profile you want in the head coach ultimately hired?
Well, I think they do have to, let's be honest, the primary job responsibility is to be able to coach football. So I think we're gonna be looking at, their acumen in football, and where they've been, how they've done. There's a lot of statistical analysis you can use as it relates to the effectiveness of coaches, what they've done. Being that I've been in football quite some time, I have a large array of people that I can talk to as it relates to candidates. Also, there's other individuals that will be assisting me in this that will be able to do some research. So, candidates bring they bring an array of traits to a search. I think that having a person who puts our student athlete and the student athlete experience first as the primary concern of what they do is probably going to be one of the largest compliments that we'll be looking for in the search. The football, believe it or not, I always think of it this way. If we're successful on all those other fronts, winning comes. Winning is a product of building it right. It's not what you strive for. It's the product that comes from it.
Terry, Coach Tedford mentioned that Ryan Grubb is going to be the interim coach until the permanent is named. I assume that decision was made with you and with Dr. Castro in mind, and probably with collaboration. What has Ryan Grubb said about this elevated role, and also what are your expectations for him until a permanent head coach is named?
Well, Ryan Grubb is a quality coach, and of course we respect Ryan Grubb tremendously, his contributions to this program. Ryan, I think he's excited about the opportunity to not only to lead the program, but also to continue to support it in a different way. And I think the most important piece of the puzzle is the fact that he will have myself and Coach Tedford to assist him as he moves down that path. As I would like to reiterate, this is a very attractive opportunity. I tend to believe that this search will not take long. It will be fast and efficient as we move forward. So with that, I look forward to working with Coach Grubb. He's a tremendous coach. I have the utmost respect for him. I have the utmost respect for our current staff. Our staff they do a great job because they, just like Coach Tedford, are all about the students and their experience here. So I feel very confident in his leadership, and I will lean on it moving forward as we look for the success of Coach Tedford.
Terry, obviously you weren't here when Coach Tedford took over, but as an athletic director, you're aware of what was going on at Fresno State. How would you describe the turnaround that took place in his first 2 years and just his stamp on the program?
The term monumental comes to mind. Turning around a team that not only had I would say a subpar win-loss record in that season to these young people who just graduated here were a part of an experience that I think has not been matched in collegiate football. That's the part that you see externally. The part that gives us much joy, though, is the pride that these young people walk around with and how they hold themselves accountable and the standards of excellence that they like to pursue because of the tutelage in their experience, and that experience being stewarded by Coach Tedford and his staff. So for me, he's built a legacy here that we need to continue to build on. And that legacy was here when he was a player under Coach Sweeney, and we're continuing it for our next leader as we move forward.
I know the news is just breaking and everything, but I don't know if you've had a chance to talk with current assistant coaches at all, but what would be your message to them, or what has been your message to them about where the program's going and their future?
I have had a chance to talk to our current staff. Our current staff, you know, we can talk about the obligations that they have professionally, but in actuality, they are all on the same page in the fact that they feel committed to this program and what they've built. So they're going to continue their efforts and their investment in this program. And I appreciate that for them. I appreciate that because they care about these student athletes just like we do. And so for me, I have great partners in our coaching profession, and I'm here for them as well. You know, a lot of times we talk about the support of our students, and that's primary, and it is. But as an athletic director, I'm also here for my coaches. I'm here for my staff. Just like Jeff has a responsibility that goes far beyond just the students, so do I, and I have great leadership. I would tend to believe, and I'm remiss I didn't say this. I feel very empowered to do what I do because of the great leadership of this man here, President Castro. President Castro embodies everything we need in this program in order for us to move forward. So therefore, as a representative of his, I feel as though we can do what we need to do in order to keep us moving forward and providing for our students.
Director Tumey, you talked about legacy a little bit. A big legacy for Fresno State is harvesting local talent from Josh Hope to Jalen Crawford to Aaron Nosby. How confident are you in the next coaching hire to harvest that talent here in the Valley without any Valley connection?
You know, I tend to believe that, as I said before, I think people who are going to look at this position and be successful here are going to have bulldog traits. And with that, I think that our community, if there's one thing I know about our community here, they want you to be real and humble and transparent and roll up your sleeves and work hard. If I can find that kind of guy, I promise you, he's going to be successful, no matter where he comes from. Our people know here in this community, our young student athletes know the folks who are going to be invested in them. So for me, I tend to believe that's not going to be a barrier. I think that our young people are going to really understand from the coaching vantage point what that's all about. But once again, I want to reiterate the fact that when a student athlete comes here, they come here for athletics, yes, but they also come for a great student experience. They come for the academic firepower that we have at this institution. They come for the investment that we have here. They come for the comprehensive growth as an individual here. That is a very attractive piece of the puzzle. So for us recruiting student athletes, I tend to believe those who are in the Valley who have recognized that, they don't want to leave. They got everything they need right here in this Valley, right here in Fresno State.
I got time for one more question. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.